Playhouse Chicago.
Today I'm here with Jennifer and Grace, the two staff members at GiGi's Playhouse Chicago. Keep watching to watch their interviews.
Hey Grace, thanks for being on here.
Thank you. I'm excited
Me
to chat with
too.
you about GiGi's and the Down syndrome community.
Can you first introduce yourself and your role here at GiGi's Playhouse?
Yes, GiGi's Playhouse Chicago. We are one out of 58 playhouses across the US and Mexico, and we're a Down syndrome achievement center. So what we do is we offer free therapeutic, educational, and career development programs for individuals with Down syndrome from birth through adulthood. So we have programs such as crawlers and walkers and LMNOP for our little ones, up into our internship program for adults. Those are some of our group programs that we offer at the Playhouse. We also have some one-on-one programs at the Playhouse too, which is one-on-one with a volunteer, which are our tutoring programs. So we offer math, literacy, and speech tutoring. And our mission at GiGi's Playhouse is global acceptance for all. Knowing that there is a physical space for families to come to learn about Down syndrome, to learn about the diagnosis, and know that they're not alone in the community.
Can you briefly explain what GiGi's Playhouse is and its mission?
We do a lot. We definitely do a lot, from our programming here at the Playhouse to our events. You know, we're 99% volunteer run. So, and a volunteer just like yourself.
Yeah.
We have two staff here at the Playhouse, myself and Jennifer, and we work with a board of just up to around 16 people that help run and manage our Playhouse. So it's definitely a team effort to be able to give back and support this incredible community, and give back to the community as well.
Oh, I love that.
Very, very special.
Yeah, that was a great explanation of like everything, because I know, yeah, GiGi's Playhouse does a lot of different things. So how did you find out about GiGi's Playhouse?
How did I find out about GiGi's Playhouse? So it all started when my brother Charlie has Down syndrome. He's 25. He lives with my family in Michigan. And I'll never forget the day my mom mentioned it to me. She mentioned GiGi's. I was coming to school in Chicago. I came to college here in Chicago. And she's like, hey, while you're there, you should check out GiGi's Playhouse. And I knew in the back of my mind, I knew I wanted to get involved in some capacity, whether it be a volunteer or I didn't know I'd be a staff member in this position.
Yeah.
You know, life throws you some beautiful opportunities, and sometimes you just have to take them. But that's how I figured out about it. I found out from my mom. I started working here at the Playhouse back in October of 2019 as the site coordinator. And as it was kind of a funny story, as soon as I got the position, my mom sent me a photo of this old address book that she had from when my brother was born. And in it was written Misericordia, which is another amazing organization here in Chicago that offers support to the disabilities community, and GiGi's Playhouse. So I'm like, this is kind of a full circle moment in a way of
Yeah,
it.
that is so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And again, I never really knew or thought that I'd have a position, you know, doing what I do. I knew that I wanted to be able to support other families and other siblings that have gone through similar things that our family and myself have gone through. So it's been a beautiful journey getting to meet everyone, and it's a very, very special position, and I'm very grateful for it to be able to help and give that perspective.
What was the process? Like, how did you start working at GiGi's Playhouse once you found out about it and got involved?
Again, I knew how I started at GiGi's. I knew I wanted to get involved in the Down syndrome community in some way.
Yeah.
And I was in a position where I knew about Misericordia, I knew about GiGi's, and it started with a phone call. I started looking online, I was job searching and figuring out different opportunities within the GiGi's network. And lo and behold, there was a position just in my backyard here in Chicago. And it was a phone call away, and came in for my interview, and here I am today. So I'm very, very lucky. You never know, you know, keep your resources, keep contact with those people that you know, and you never know what can come from that. And you never know what can come from a phone call and just putting out there in the world and asking too, and just seeing what's available. So it was definitely a beautiful opportunity, and it was perfect timing for both the Playhouse and myself. So it turned out to be pretty special.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's pretty fun.
Can you just like explain what your role as the site coordinator entails, and then I guess like your experience as you've been working for the past?
Yes. So as the site coordinator of the Playhouse, you wear many hats. You are here greeting families. You know, I've gotten phone calls of grandparents that just found out that their little one will be born with Down syndrome, and they're not necessarily sure how to navigate that world. Meeting with families, meeting with parents, meeting with caregivers. Not only am I meeting with, you know, immediate parents, but also siblings of loved ones with Down syndrome that might be a little bit older. So definitely meeting with families, working on events. You know, we have 4 major fundraising events at the Playhouse, so I'm definitely involved in all of those, making sure things on the back end go smoothly, planning goes smoothly, working with our board of managers, making sure that, you know, we're all working as a team. Marketing, again, marketing at the Playhouse is very important, marketing our programs, stewardship and outreach within our community. So making sure that, you know, our donor relations and making sure, you know, again, 99% volunteer run, but we're also privately funded. So that means we rely solely on donations from our community to be able to make sure our Playhouse can run, so that the lights are on, so we have programming materials and everything like that. So anything and kind of everything at the Playhouse, I've put my hands in some capacity, making sure the Playhouse is clean, keeping up daily, you know, working on grants as well, grant funding for our Playhouse, getting, my goodness, what else? There's quite a bit. Outreach with the community and creating those partnerships with our program leaders, but also just regular volunteers at the Playhouse. Answering daily phone calls, learning more about the Playhouse, working with news outlets for events. So definitely involved with quite a bit. You never know what the day is going to bring. That's one thing I love about my job, is that it's consistent, but at the same time, you never know who could walk in the door. It could be a brand new family with a new little one, or a person that just wanted to learn a little bit more about the Playhouse and later, you know, maybe decided to donate. And so you never really know how the day will go, which is really fun and exciting. It keeps us all on our toes in a fun way.
What is your favorite thing about working at GiGi's Playhouse?
Oh, my favorite thing, I mean, there's so many. I would definitely say our participants. I mean, they bring the joy, they bring the excitement, they bring the dance parties. You never know. We've had multiple dance parties, whether it be at 9 a.m., at 7:30 at the end of a program. You never know when we could bust out into a dance party. It's been an incredible joy to meet everyone, no matter the age, even little ones up to our adults. It's again, truly a blessing to be able to be in this position to offer support too. You know, I am a sibling, I am a sister of someone with Down syndrome. I've connected with many families, even my age, but also some siblings that are younger and some siblings that are older that I look up to, and have those questions of, you know, what's the next plan, or what's some things I should be, you know, preparing for or looking forward to in the future with support from my brother. So again, the most fun part of my day is working with our participants. And again, like I said, you never know what's going to happen. We've had participants come in to show me their swim medal, and it's the best part of their day. And so being able to share like their joys and their best of all moments makes my day every single day.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like in like so many different situations, it's always the people that make everything.
The people, I mean, again, here I go again, not only participants, but volunteers. I mean, they are absolutely incredible at what they do for our Playhouse. We're incredibly grateful, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. You know, it's Jennifer and I, but also a very large team behind the scenes making this happen. So, and just seeing the concept of community in action. You know, you can talk about it, you can volunteer, but seeing people come together, seeing those smiles from not only our participants, but their family members, their grandparents coming together and celebrating inclusion in that way has been wonderful.
Yeah.
Definitely a highlight of my day.
What is something you wish people knew about Down syndrome?
Something that I wish people knew about Down syndrome is that knowing that they're not alone. Knowing that they're not alone, I felt even when I was younger, just speaking on my behalf, I did feel a little bit alone as a sibling of, my brother was different. We were in elementary school together for 1 year. And I had kind of that, people would ask questions. People would be like, why is he doing this? Or why isn't he doing this? And I didn't really, I knew the answer, but it was also hard to explain when I was younger too. So I kind of felt alone in that concept. I know, growing up in a small town in northern Michigan, my brother was one of a very, very small handful of individuals with Down syndrome. And so not really knowing what, things around the corner, what could happen, what the right thing to do is. But coming here to GiGi's, being in this environment, it's very clear that no one is alone. And sometimes I always say that coming through the door could be the hardest part. Sometimes it becomes a reality for our families in some ways of, it becomes real. I've met with some families that said, the hardest thing was just getting there. Was just getting there and walking through the doors. We've had some families that were like, yep, we're coming in, we're getting ready to go, and others that were a lot more hesitant. And one thing, just at our anniversary party, we met with this other founding board member, and he said the same thing. He's like, this community was our saving grace, knowing that we were not alone. So I think it's definitely important to put that out there and know that we are here, even if it's just for a cup of coffee, even if it's just for one question that you might think it could be a silly answer. There's no silly questions. There's tons of people here ready to support, no matter the challenge or no matter the obstacle that's in their way. There's always support, and sometimes that first step can always be the hardest of understanding that. But again, a phone call away, an email away, a stop in the Playhouse away, we're here. And just again, that's one thing that I'd love the world to know is that you are not alone in this journey.
Oh, I love that. That is, very beautiful, important message. Yeah. Finally, do you have any words of advice or encouragement for people who might be looking to get more involved in the Down syndrome community?
Absolutely. I know I've met with some people and some volunteers like, oh, I just don't know when the right time is. The right time is now. Go for it. There's so many amazing opportunities. I would say the first step, attend one of our volunteer orientations. They're offered virtually, and they're on the first Tuesday of every month. Depending if there's a holiday in there, we have to adjust a little bit, but volunteer orientations are a great place to start and to learn. We go through, what's expected, different volunteer opportunities, depending on how involved you want to get. Attending an orientation, they're led by one of our board members and a staff member, and we run through, again, the options and just ways you can get involved. There's always fun things, depending on the month and time of year, of pop-up volunteer opportunities, like at different events. We've had some people that are like, I want to tutor for the whole year. And they're really invested, which is wonderful. And then some people that are only able to maybe commit one time a week or even one time a year, So there's definitely, I always say that there's always, if you can think of a volunteer opportunity, we definitely would need the support, no matter what capacity. But it's an incredible place. All of our volunteers, when they come in, they're like, oh, we wish we would have done this sooner, or oh, I can't leave. Like, we have so much fun. And it's definitely an incredible, bright, inviting place that not only for our families and participants, but for our volunteers, and has kind of created that homey feel, if that makes sense. And being able to see people grow has been wonderful too. So words of advice, take the step, try a volunteer orientation, or give us a call and come for a tour of the Playhouse. You can get a great feel for the space, and then an opportunity to kind of chat in person to learn a little bit more about everything that we offer for our Down syndrome community.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview.
You are welcome, Julia. Absolutely, my pleasure.
Thank you for watching.
For more information about GiGi's Playhouse Chicago, feel free to visit our website, gigisplayhousechicago.org/Chicago, or give us a call at 773-583-7529.